college sports show here on Spreaker.com in affiliation with National Sports. I'm Robert Deitts. Alongside me, Steven Hughes. And Steven, let's end it out here really quick. Let's go with the Giants this season. You know, the Giants won the World Series in 2012 to 2013. Just a lot of injuries. You know, let's just get your thoughts on the Giants this season.
Injury, they call Angel John. I was here in the lineup, not being in the lineup and being a contributor to the offense. That was the one main offensive problem. Left field has been an issue. Greater Blanco, a couple other guys that just chose to fill the role perfectly, and that's why the Giants had to pick up Michael Morris from free agency this offseason. So he'll be filling up the void, hopefully well. But then also inconsistency pitching. It was another off year with him, or it's just now becoming the fact that he's not good anymore. Brian Goldenstone missing half the season, and then he replaced by Chagger. And my opinion, he's like surprising player of the year. You know, doing the rotation board pretty well. To be honest with everybody, you know, he's really filling the floor as well when he plays Wilson after Wilson broke his finger. And the 19 is surprisingly just not very consistent. Yeah, we the record, I think. I feel like he's lost pitches more in the zone rather than, you know, mixing stuff up out of the zone, you know, batters away from batters, up high, down low. You know, he was more of a in the zone type of guy, and that's why he hit hard this year. And, you know, he kept on doing that every single time out because he kept on doing the same thing. And my pitcher of the year, Madison Bumgarner, he's incredible. He's a guy that's actually looked into what I'm saying with the inside stuff, outside stuff, with the backfield third ball, with the one tight cutter with the fastball up and high. You know, all these things, you know, very valuable to the pitcher with Madison Bumgarner with what he does. He can be a Cy Young Award winner. It's not for another left-handed pitcher from Los Angeles. I think a lot of people know this name. It starts with Clayton. But, you know, he provides a big, great spot in the rotation. And with Tim Hudson coming in, also free agent from the offseason, you know, there's a lot to expect from this rotation. And one person that will be leaving, it might be Winston, it might be Goldenstone, I don't know. Because we have a lot of good guys. We also have the peak. We almost do a perfect game this year. So, you know, we'll see. We'll see what goes on in training, how the pitch rotation will go. But, you know, one person will lose a job. And I think the favorite to lose a job is probably going to be the 1%. But we're able to coming back, Michael Morris in the picture now. Unfortunately, Kurt Jones gone. He was now in South Korea, playing for a baseball team over there, so there's a point to that. Bunch of Posey, hopefully going back into 2015 form. Oh, handball. Get off the Bandit Express. Lose some weight. You keep losing off weight. If you keep on losing weight, you get fat, and you lose weight, and you get fat. You stay on one road. That's actually a resolution for you for the 2014 season. But for this year, I think the Giants could do well. In terms of play well against the Dodgers and the underrated team in NL West this year will be definitely Diamondbacks with Paul Goldschmidt and Mark Trumbo, who they picked up in the offseason from the Angels.
This season, the Giants go 76-86. And this team wasn't, you know, they didn't really make themselves known as being, you know, the World Series champs at all, as they didn't really get to defend their title whatsoever. This season was a little head scratcher for me. I thought they would at least do a little bit better. You know, they did have their moments. Tim Lincecum gets a complete game shutout, and that was probably one of the greatest moments I ever got to see. Deits gets one hitter, has a one hit game, and that was disappointing because of the ninth inning too. They got the hit, and they had an alright season. I just want to see them do better, especially. I think the starting pitching could do better now that Barry Zito's gone. I think that was one of the most emotional parts for the Giants was Barry Zito's gone. I mean, he didn't have the greatest year, but he's also a pitcher that was around, and we kept him for his whole contract. So now he's done, and I didn't like him at first, but I got to like Zito more and more. I mean, especially the 2012 season was probably the best year he had as a Giant, but Matt Cain had an okay type of year. I think he could have done a lot better. And I look at this season, and I look at the best batting average, and Marco Escurito batted at 297 for this team. And I also look at Buster Posey, who batted at 294. So, I mean, this team's leader, though, in home runs and RBIs was Hunter Pence, and Hunter Pence has been a big bat ever since he's came to S7. I think it was a good move for the Giants to get Hunter Pence late in the season. I think that was a really good pickup for the Giants. And Steven, I go to your point. Pablo Sandoval didn't have really a great season. 14 homers, 79 RBIs. He still batted at 278. He was good hitting wise. This guy needs to become more of a home run hitter in a way. We need him to really hit some more homers and get some more RBIs. I mean, Hunter Pence was the man this year to really just drive in runs. And he also had 22 stolen bases on top of it, so he is a speedster in a way, too. But I also look at the pitching side this season, and I look at Madison Bumgarner, who is our best pitcher this season. 13 wins, 2.77 ERA. He had 31 starts. And the most starts for the Giants this year, Steven, this will surprise you, but Tim Lincecum, 10 wins. He had the most losses as a Giant. A 4.37 ERA. And wow, that kind of hurts. He gave up 184 hits and 96 earned runs. And he had 76 walks. And, that's a little scary. I mean, he still had 193 strikeouts. That's good, but you also gotta look at it and you gotta, tell yourself you gotta stop giving up walks, you gotta stop giving up earned runs and hits. But I mean, Zito went 5-11 with a 5.74 ERA. Ryan Vogelsong went 4-6 with a 5.73 ERA. Matt Cain went 8-10 with a 4.00 ERA. I don't think that was that bad, but he did give up 23 homers this season. And Romo, he had 5 wins, 8 losses, but he had 38 saves this season. A man that took over Brian Wilson's spot pretty well, and I was impressed with him this year. That's a reliever that a closer and was a reliever through the season as well. I really trusted in Sergio Romo this season. So I look at this season, and I really liked how the Giants. I think I liked how the Giants, just had maybe a big bat in a way, and They also had Madison Bumgarner. I think those were the two big positives. Now let's go to the Oakland A's, a team that did make a playoff push against Detroit. Once again, they come close but fall short. Steven, what's your review for the Oakland A's?
First, notably, Bartolo Colon. Obviously, he took steroids. Because how does a 41-year-old go, 16-4 or whatever record he had, an incredible record, with such a low ERA? It's cheating, He was suspended in 2012, along with Melky Cabrera, before taking steroids, and advantage point the fact that, that happens, and, he's a cheater. So for that great first half of the year, maybe the whole second half of the year, I feel like the home run derby, messed up his swing a lot. He had a great first half of the year. He didn't see a home run. He was a great offensive producer. In the second half, he was more of a, crisp. He's always goes to pitch what a man he is. In the pitch rotation, not a lot of big names, but good outings. I have to say, the pitch rotation was great. The bullpen was outstanding. Will Blackbuzzer, Van Balfour, and the interesting thing I like to see next year is Jim Johnson. What he's done for the Orioles last team, it's very impressive. He knows how to close and get the job done, and he's the guy who won the better-known closures in Major League Baseball alongside Craig Kimbrell with Craig. So I can see him as an all-star for the A's. The A's playing in games that are very close. He can be able to just shut the door like Van Balfour. So, and then lastly, we didn't lose Coach Suzuki. They got him in the trade deadline against the Nationals. Now Suzuki is going to the Twins. So, catcher position, we'll probably show at some point quickly. Hopefully before spring training starts. Probably a guy that's more like a $1 year, $2 million guy. Nothing too notable. I'm thinking as going to be very, very conservative in spending lots of money. So, some voting hurt the spots is avoiding a fill in for first 50. He's very nice for the A's, but I feel like their spring training will dictate, how good the team will be good this year, will it be, struggling. They all come to spring training and seeing the breakthrough and how the team really got.
I look at this team this season. I look at Josh Donaldson, 24 homers, 93 RBIs. Man, they picked up, and he made some big eyes this season. Jed Lowry made some big names as well. He had 15 homers, 75 RBIs. He batted .290. Josh Donaldson batted .301 this season. Nate Freeman, a man that wasn't really talked about as much, a rookie, had 4 homers, 24 RBIs, batted .274, so he can get some big hits on base. Let's go with Coco Crisp, 22 homers, 66 RBIs, his best season in the league yet. And a man that really came up big as well, and I was really impressed with Coco Crisp this season. Alberto Callaspo, who they picked up from the Angels, he had 10 homers, 58 RBIs, batted .258. Let's go with Brandon Moss, a man that dominated this year, 30 homers and 87 RBIs. He was a big bat this season. Yoenis Cespedes, that he had some injuries but he had 26 homers, 80 RBIs, and then Josh Reddick, 12 homers and 56 RBIs. A season that was a little bit shaky for him. He only batted .232, a man that should have done a little bit better than I thought. Now let's go lastly to their pitching here, and the only name I've really got to say that really jumped out to me was AJ Griffin. He was 14-10 this season. And also, I guess I gotta say, Jared Parker. He went 12-8 this season. And him and Griffin both started the 32 games. Griffin had 200 innings of work, the most by a pitcher this season for the A's. So this season was good for them. I think this team, if they can get some bigger pitchers and bats, I think this team will be ready to go and actually maybe win a world. I think this team can maybe win a World Series. They still got a lot of young talent, and they're making playoffs, so they are getting some playoff experience. Now, Steven, lastly, I know we're getting tired here. It's almost 1 o'clock here on the West Coast, almost 4 o'clock on the East Coast. Let's go with the Sharks, Steven. Just give me your final thoughts on the Sharks season.
After this year, I should last season won these season ones. I'm sure due to the player strike, the actually is worse. And now, heading into this season, the last season was the last season. They just kind of small on the putt. This season is a little bit different. I think that they'll bring in Tom Turtle. He's a great